Last week I went on an estate agent's website and the most recent blog article genuinely was announcing the start of lockdown. Across the country, so many estate agents struggle to keep up with the demands of marketing, be it blogs, social media, PR, whatever, because we are so busy in our day-to-day work, answering phones, replying to emails, that this stuff falls between the cracks so easily. And once your blog's been left unattended for a few weeks, it's amazing how quickly that turns into months. So today I'm going to show you a quick workflow using AI but retaining your brand voice that will take care of all of that and make your marketing far more manageable, more efficient, and more consistent. Let's crack on. Right, super specs deployed, and last time I did this, I didn't quite realise just how much of my kitchen you'd be able to see, and the comments I got about how untidy it was. So look, I've tidied especially for you, we've even got flowers. This is about as good as it gets. Yes, I know there's a bit of clutter over there, let's ignore that. So, this workflow begins with video, and every single time we start with video, and I'll tell you why, because you might often hear a lot of the time you should start with writing your blogs because you can use ChatGPT to write it for you. Well, the reason we should always start with video is because if you're going to start with a blog and then repurpose that into video content, you're going to be reading from a script. You're going to be speaking ChatGPT's language. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to retain your personality and your tone of voice. So we're going to begin with video, talking about topics that we're knowledgeable about in your own words, off the cuff, which you can do because you do it with your customers every single day. So we're not just beginning with video, we're beginning with long form video. Now that might sound intimidating, but actually you're a natural already. You just don't know it yet. Like I said, you do it with your clients every single day. So switch on the camera, pick a topic and start talking. And when I say to pick a topic, what I mean is map out your entire customer's journey, whether that's a buyer, a seller, a landlord, a tenant, and mark off all of the key landmarks along that journey. So that might be realizing they need to sell and knowing how to choose an agent. It might be the market appraisal and knowing what to expect and how agents value your property. It might be getting the property ready for market. It might be receiving your first offer. All of these moments along the timeline, knock them off. They are all a video in itself. So for the sake of this video, why don't we concentrate on preparing the property to market? So you're going to sit down and you're going to talk to camera for, let's say, 5 minutes-ish. It could be longer, it could be a little bit shorter, but you're just going to talk as though you're advising a client. Have a particular client in mind and speak to them like you would just speak directly to that client. Actually picture them. Give the camera a name, Gary, your ideal client, Claire, and advise them as though you would if you're talking face to face. Just talk through that process of preparing the property to market. What are the most important things they need to consider? It doesn't matter if you need to stop and look at your notes. You can snip that out afterwards. It doesn't matter if you stumble over your words. This long form video is the cornerstone of our content, but it's probably not actually going to be digested quite as much as all of the other things that we're going to extrapolate from it. So film that 5-minute-ish video advising your client as you genuinely would do in real life. And then that's going to be uploaded to YouTube. It needs to be given a hookish, clickbaity title along the lines of 3 things that you need to do before you bring your home to the market. It doesn't matter if you've said more than 3. You can just put that in the title and then go further into more detail during the video itself. So we've got our long form video. That is the cornerstone of a huge amount of work that AI is now going to help us with in order to extract more content from that video. Let's go into a bit more detail. So the first thing that we're going to do with that long form video is we're going to get more video content from it. And we're going to use a tool called Opus in order to do that. And I'll give you a quick demo of that right here, right now. So what Opus does is it's a fantastic platform which takes a piece of long form content and it clips it up into portrait social media clips of 60 seconds or so. It automatically adds subtitles. And so I'm going to demonstrate with this video that I'd recorded previously here. As you can see, I've got the YouTube link. I'm going to go over to Opus. I will drop in that YouTube link. And Opus takes a little bit of time, so we'll leave it whirring away in the background. But as you can see, it's found the YouTube video here, and I'm just going to press Get Clips in one click. And I'll show you one that I made earlier. Here we go. This is that self-same video, but as you can see, it's been chopped into 12 clips here of between 30 and 2 minutes in length. It's added a little title to each of them. As you can see, if I play it, it's added subtitles. I'm going to tell you exactly how your customers' brains work, and after you've listened to this, it will probably... So what we've got from Opus here is we've got, in this instance, 12 clips. And that is easily a month's worth of social media content. So we've got our long form video and we've extracted out from it 12 social media clips, which I think is a good start. However, we want more social media content from this. So what we're going to do next is, again, beginning with our long form video, we're going to extract social media graphics from it. And we're going to use, in this case, ChatGPT to do that. You could also use Claude Design, which is great, but slightly limited in terms of access at the moment. The reason I'm using ChatGPT for this is because ChatGPT is particularly good at putting text on graphics. Google Gemini, which I wang on about a lot of the time, it has other strengths, but in this instance, I want text on a graphic, so I'm going to use ChatGPT for that. Let me show you the workflow for that. So I'm beginning back in YouTube on my long form video, and the great thing about YouTube is that if I scroll down here to the video description and click the More button, then again scrolling down to the bottom of that description, you'll see here that YouTube transcribes every single video that you put on there. So I'm going to just toggle off the timestamps so they don't get in the way. And what I've got here now is a transcript of every single word that I've said during that video, which is brilliant. And you might have wondered, I did explain, but why I insisted we begin with long form video. And it's about retaining your tone of voice. If you just go off to ChatGPT and ask it to write you a blog, then chances are, unless you've done a lot of work beforehand, you're using ChatGPT's tone of voice. If you film a video in your own words, we can utilize that to retain your tone of voice in the rest of all of this work that we're doing. So I'm going to go over to ChatGPT now. And I'm going to say to it, using Whisper Flow down here, I'm going to paste below the transcript of a long-form YouTube video that I've filmed. I would like you to write a design brief for a series of 5 social media graphics that I can use in order to extract as much value from this one video as possible. These graphics should focus on points that I've made, points of interest that I've made during the filming of that video. And please use in the design my brand colors, which is hashtag FFBE98, that's my brand color, and my brand fonts, which are Connect or something similar. And what we'll do next is we'll just paste in the transcript that we took from the YouTube video. And I'm going to let ChatGPT write that design brief now for a series of 5 videos. To be honest, 5 images. You could go further than 5. Another strength of ChatGPT's new image creation engine is that it can create multiple images in one prompt, whereas Gemini, you have to do individual prompts for each individual image. I've done up to 10 in the past, but I'm going to keep it 5, keep it nice and manageable. As you can see now, it's writing the design briefs for all 5 images. And I do find this briefing process is more efficient than just going straight into image creation. You get a description written out of each image. You can check that it's on point and accurate. You can make changes to it if you want. So now I'm going to go to the bottom of this description and I'm going to choose the create image option. And now I'm going to say create all 5 images. I want it for social media, so I'm going to say 4-5 dimensions, and that will now take a few moments. So let's come back to the plan while it's working away. So I'm now going to get 5 images. So you can already see that across these 2 actions here from Opus, we've got 12 clips, but I'm going to say that from those, let's say that 5 are usable. So I'm going to choose 5 of those, 5 or so. I've also got 5 graphics coming up. So we've got 10 posts already from a single video, 5 videos on social media, 5 graphic posts on social media. ChatGPT is still thinking away there. I'll show you the results of that in a second. So what else can we do? Well, I spoke about blogs right at the very outset of this video. So let's get our blog updated. Now remember, my example that I've given you here is my own video about AI and social media content. You're doing this about the home moving journey. So every single one of these videos is going to be home moving tips, advice for your would-be clients, your prospective customers. Let me just pause there just to show you ChatGPT is finishing up on my graphics. And as you can see, I've got a really great quality graphic here that ChatGPT's made. It's still working on the other 4 in the background, but you can see the quality of that initial image to begin with. It's on brand as well, so I can really use that to retain my customer identity, my brand identity, I should say. So we're now moving on to blogs, and again, the same approach as graphics and videos. I don't just want to write one blog because I've taken the time to record a 5-minute, 10-minute video. I can get much more than one blog out of this. So we're going to aim for, let's say, 4 separate blog articles from that one video. And if your video is about how to prepare your property for the market, then again, each individual point that you make in that video is going to be extracted out to make a separate video. So here we go. We're going to move on to blogs now. Before I do, let me very quickly show you. ChatGPT's finished making all of these lovely graphics for me now. If you've got a brand logo, if you want that included in the graphics, then just give it to ChatGPT. It will include those as well. So there's my 5 graphics, 5 separate social media posts. So now again, beginning with the YouTube video, remember I've copied and pasted that transcript of the long form video. ChatGPT's already got that. So I'm gonna, just to be nice and clean, I'm going to start a new chat and let's prompt it again. Below is the transcript of a long form YouTube video that I filmed. I would like you to analyze that transcript and extract from it 5 separate blog articles which can go on my own website, each focusing on a different topic or theme from within the video. The video is filmed in my natural conversational tone of voice, and I would like you to retain the same language and style and tone that I've used in the video within the blog articles. I actually said 5 blogs in that, didn't I? I said 4 initially, but we're going to aim for 5 now, it turns out. So here we go. I'm now going to paste in the transcript once more. And while that's working away, just the importance of some of my wording there, I asked it to retain the same language, the same tone and style as the spoken script of my YouTube video. And that's really important. It takes me all the way back to the very beginning about why we began with long form video, because it's you speaking and you can retain that tone of voice through the clips, through the graphics, and now into your blogs. So here we go, it's now writing the blogs and it's separating that out into several different articles. It'll have 5 by the time it's finished. I'll leave that working away. So from our one long form video, we've now got 5 clips that we're going to use on social media, 5 graphics that we're going to use in separate social media posts, and we've now got not 4, but 5 blogs that are going to go over our website. If we were looking at this over the course of a month's worth of content, actually I think it's slightly more than that. So what you can really do is have one monthly long form video and extract so much content that you're then going to drip feed out on your socials, on your blog over the rest of the month. But we're not quite finished yet, and I won't demo this last step because I think you probably know how it's done by now. But the last thing you could do is often overlooked, which is PR. And the power of PR, I cannot stress how influential good PR is for a local business. So all of this advice that you're giving in your videos, graphics, blogs, why not try to get that into your local press as well? You'll reach so many more eyes, and the relevance of PR is so strong within your local market, your local community. So once again, you're going to go through the same steps that we did for our blog articles and ask ChatGPT or Claude or whoever you prefer to chat to turn it into PR press releases of local relevance and connect those back to your business. So for example, ask it to include quotes from you and cite yourself as the owner or manager of such and such estates. So that is the end of this particular workflow. Quick recap. Begin with long-form video. Choose a topic that you can speak knowledgeably and confidently about, which shouldn't be difficult, and base it on your customer journey. Pick a moment and come back to that for the next video. Just work your way through the journey. And when you've finished with buyers, then move on to sellers, then move on to tenants, then move on to landlords. Then we're going to use Opus to turn that into social media video clips. So you've got YouTube content, which by the way is really strong for AI search and being found by platforms like Gemini and ChatGPT. And we've got social media content as well, so that your face is on your social media feed, so you've got strong video content to accompany all your listings and your Google reviews. And then we've also got image content as well, because it's really important for social media to have a healthy mix of different formats and different medias. So we've got video, we've got images, but of course you want your website to show up in Google searches, have strong SEO, so it needs to be a live, actively updated, fresh site with new content all the time. So we're going to add these 5 blogs to our website over the course of the weeks, one a week, one a fortnight, whatever it might be. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to try and get into the local media as well, because that's really influential and going to help you to establish yourself as your local expert. So we're going to focus on PR and re-utilize that video one more time to make press releases, which we can send out to the local papers, local radio stations, local magazines, to really establish and stamp your authority on your local market. And if all of that doesn't help to establish yourself locally and win over that local audience and to really stamp your authority as the local expert in your market, then I don't know what will. Thanks for joining.